Wealth is a social construct. We define that based on what we decided, what meaning it has. So we have to begin to try to change the definition of wealth, where social wealth and community wealth has at least as much value as this other form of wealth tied up in properties that end up extracting resources out of our community and sending them all over the planet and we never see them again.
I just have a real interesting example when someone was talking about the businesses along 38th Street. They were like, well, there's no businesses there. I was like, really? Because there's this and this and this? Or is it that those are businesses that you frequent or that you find of value? So suddenly there's a problem because it's not something that you want to do. And that's a perspective that we have to take in it when we go into any type of neighborhood change. Are you there to add your soup to the pot, or are you actually there to make us totally different soup that doesn't include people who are in the neighborhood?
In my own neighborhood, we were going up the street, talking to neighbors about the project, and actually we were putting together a community event. We were wanting them on the project, I think, and they weren't home because they were taking GED classes that they were paying for, that a institution in our community offers for free. That's a clear case of they're not snubbing their nose at the institution. They went over there to pay to go get GED classes because they didn't know.
What are we supposed to do if we're an artist living in a neighborhood? Are we supposed to just sit there and not help, or are we supposed to help? And it's not just your own neighborhood. If this is your city and you care about the city and all the people in this city, then you shouldn't just be sitting there and not helping and talking about definitions and terminology. Do something.
You know, you almost feel insulted, disrespected, but you step up because it's supposed to improve, revitalize, and develop your neighborhood. We all like pretty, but the older you get, the more you remember sitting on the porch and watching development happen over there, across the street, down the street. The cranes roll in, nobody from your neighborhood gets the job. You kind of somehow remember in all this revitalization that nothing happens that helps improve anything but something for you to look at, and then they roll back out taking all the resources with them.
He gets 25% of the people who come out of prison every year are dropped off in this neighborhood. How do we build a process to ensure that these individuals are also can take part of whatever opportunities are created so that they can have a different economic future? But if you don't really care about what happens to those people and you just are really focused on how to build more or raise property taxes, then if they get lost in the shuffle, people are okay with that. I'm not okay with losing people. So our motto was everyone for us all.
You have areas of affluence being created, surrounded by areas of poverty, and you don't have enough areas securing investment. So it's been shown that cities with 10 or so relatively thriving socioeconomic neighborhoods are the most stable cities. We only have 5 or 6. And so what that does is it increases the demand on those places and exacerbates prices. And it further pushes other folks into poverty or out of the center township into the townships where they don't want to live, where services are further away.